Today I'm going to show you how to set up the Management Console wizard using the Advanced Setup. So first thing, when you open the Management Console wizard, you'll be presented these welcome docs, and they just explain what CastFS Plus is, how to use it, and some best practices for using it. So once you're done reading through the first one, you click Next. And again, the second one is the same thing, except it's a user start guide for the cloud workspace. So once you're done with that, you click Next. And here we are doing the Advanced Setup, so we'll click Advanced. And the first thing you have to do is create initial user. You can see that there's a few steps. So the initial user will do make a fake user account right now. Alright, then you click next. And then you have the service account. There's already some default info filled out for you, but if you want to change this, you can. And you don't need to change this or anything, but just so you know, the service account is what allows Workspace to set up the CastFS user information and save it to be used on server startup. So if you want to change this, you can. But no need to. So we'll click next, and you can set up your company info, and you can see that you could actually skip right through this if you don't want to do this now, but we'll make a company email real quick, fake one, just say my company, and then if you have an email logo URL, you can add that here, and then ops email, so let's just say ops at mycompany.com. We'll go to next, and then you have your SMTP info. Again, you could skip right through this and do this another time, but I'll show you how to set it up. So whenever there is a down service or anything like that, an email is going to get sent to these email recipients that you set up. So so you get your SMTP, and then you say your email, where it's coming from, so ops at company.com. Give it a password, an SMTP password, then your port, whether or not it's SMTP secure, and then you could add the email recipients that will actually receive this email. So let's say recipient at gmail.com, right? And you could add multiple. Add as many as you'd like, but I'll stick with the one right now just because we're showing an example. So we'll click next, and then we have the first workspace user. So let's set up the workspace user. So let's say let's just keep it at someone. We'll say someone, and then we'll make their password, and then we have the user ID, the group if we want to change that at all, as well as the group ID. So that's filled out. We'll click next, and then we have some AWS information to fill out, like the availability zones. So right now we have 2 default filled out for you. If you want to add a new one, you could say US OS 2 and add that in there. I'm sorry, that was 2A. And if at any point you want to remove it, just click X. And then we have a few more things, the cloud platform key pair name. So you just fill that out with what your cloud platform key pair name is, as well as what you want your cluster name to be, the volume size, and then the instance ID. So the instance ID is the server running CastFS Plus. So I'm just going to stick with this example one right now, but you would fill this out to be your instance ID. So once that's done, you click next. Then you have the billing, and again, you can skip through this one, and you can fill it out later, but we'll fill it out now. So the billing URL, and you can see here there's an example URL to show you what it's supposed to look like and where you're supposed to find it. So I'll just keep this one for now. And then you saw when I put this in, it pre-filled out this information. So that's pretty cool that it pulls from there. We'll go to next after that, and then go to the server. So these are the server families allowed. If you want to add any options or remove options, you could do that easily. Same thing with the server disallowed types. So if you don't want a server being used, you can get rid of that type. Then you have your default images, your default security groups, and your default subnets. And again, you can add or remove those very easily. And I just want to point out while we're here, at any point you can go back an option, and it'll save the info that you've put in. But we'll go back to where we are at, which is went one too far, which is the database. So again, pre-filled information, but you can remove and add options as you want. Go next. The cache, again, self-explanatory. You just fill out the information as you need. And then we have other settings, and you can change your FSDB IP address, as well as a few other things. So this all looks good. We'll go to next, and this is the last page. This is the confirm page, and then they have a terms and conditions, so you could read through it. Once you're done reading through all of it, you click I accept, and then submit. And then once you click submit, the Management Console wizard will be finished and you'll be brought to the home page of the Management Console. And that is how you go through the Management Console wizard in the advanced mode.